Hey, look, we got to give credit where credit is due. The Steelers have always been on the right side of history. So the word around the NFL is Brian Flores was recently hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers as a senior defensive assistant. He specifically has the job of being the Pittsburgh Steelers linebacker coach. Now, this comes in the midst of Brian Flores being in the middle of litigation between himself and the NFL, along with the Miami Dolphins, the Denver Broncos, and the New York Giants. Obviously, we all know the story behind Brian Flores suing the NFL and the respective teams in the NFL that I just mentioned. He feels that there were racial bias included in the hiring process for the head coaching job at those respective locations. But he has since been hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers as an assistant coach, essentially a senior defensive assistant and the linebackers coach on the staff. Now, I got to give credit where credit is due. The Pittsburgh Steelers have always been on the right side of history. They've always essentially had black people in positions of leadership. And that goes back to Mike Tomlin, and I got to give Mike Tomlin credit as well. At the end of the day, Mike Tomlin looked at it like this, man. Listen, he probably said to the Flores, look, my brother, if they ain't going to hire you, I'm going to hire you. I'm going to bring you in here. I'm going to make sure you got a paycheck coming in, and we still going to get this lawsuit off. So I think it's dope that Brian Flores still has a job in the NFL, and he can continue to coach in this NFL while also still pursuing his lawsuit against the NFL as well. And this signing obviously couldn't come without the green light of ownership in the Pittsburgh Steelers or the front office. And again, this just speaks to the fact that they are trying to be on the right side of history. And I can't argue against that. Really, they've always been on the right side of history. The rule is named after their owner, the Rooney Rule. So, kudos to Brian Flores. I definitely don't think this hire just came out of the blue for no apparent reason. Brian Flores is qualified. He's overqualified for that position, but he took the job. Obviously, he still wants to be involved in NFL circles, and I think this signing shows that he can potentially not be blackballed. And again, the Steelers are taking a risk, being involved with Brian Flores, knowing that he's suing the NFL. But I give credit where credit is due when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I salute Brian Flores, and he got my back in 150% when it comes to suing some of these teams in the NFL, because we all know there's a lot of bias involved in the hiring process. We all know a lot of these guys are hiring their friends and putting guys in positions of leadership that aren't really qualified, and only putting them there because of the relationship they have. There's a lot of nepotism going on in the NFL, and there's a lot of cronyism in the NFL. Nepotism being when you hire family, cronyism being when you hire friends. So all in all, I salute you, Brian Flores. I salute Mike Tomlin. I salute the Pittsburgh Steelers for actually hiring this man, keeping him in NFL circles, and allowing that man to still have a paycheck coming in so he can take care of his family. And it's straight like that, you guys. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And I want you guys to tell me how you feel about the Brian Flores situation. Do you guys feel that Brian Flores' lawsuit is justified? Do you guys feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers should have never hired him in the first place? Do you believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are only hiring him just so they can look good in this whole situation? Do you feel that the Pittsburgh Steelers hiring him, do you feel that the job is warranted? Do you feel that the job is essentially given to him out of pity? What do you guys feel about this situation? I firmly believe that Brian Flores is overqualified for the job, and he should be a head coach somewhere, but you got to get in where you fit in. And Mike Tomlin made a role for that kid. So super, super, super proud of the situation. Happy for Brian Flores still being in the NFL. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II, from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got charges to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, most importantly, stay hungry.